Thumbelina. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be tiny? Not just little, mind you, but really, really tiny? What would it be like to be so tiny you could fit into someone's hand? This is the story of Thumbelina, a little girl so tiny that she was smaller than your thumb. Our story begins with a woman who wanted desperately to have a child. The woman visited an old gypsy woman whom she begged for help. "It is very important for me to have a little child," said the woman. "Can you please help me, dear gypsy?" "Yes, I can help you," said the gypsy. "Take this magical seed and plant it in a flower pot. Give it plenty of loving care. Then we shall see what we shall see." The woman thanked the gypsy and ran home and planted the magical seed. She watered the seed and placed the flower pot in a window where it would have lots of sunshine. The very next morning, the woman awoke to find a beautiful, large tulip. "My, what an amazing flower!" she declared. The woman bent down and kissed the red and yellow flower. Suddenly, there was a magical flash of sparkles, and the magnificent flower blossom opened. Curled up in the middle of the blossom, there sat a beautiful little girl. "Why, you're the prettiest thing I've ever seen," cried the woman. "And you're no bigger than my thumb. I think I'll call you Thumbelina." Thumbelina shyly smiled at the woman. Then she stood up and curtsied. The woman was so happy she finally had the little child that she had always wanted. She and Thumbelina spent many happy days together. They played and sang and laughed for hours. But one night, an ugly toad spied Thumbelina through an open window. The ugly toad crawled in the house and looked down at Thumbelina asleep in the walnut shell she used as a bed. "This little one will make an excellent wife for my son," said the ugly toad. And quick as a wink, she carried the walnut shell and Thumbelina right out the window. The next morning, Thumbelina awoke to find herself floating on a lily pad surrounded by water. "Where am I?" she asked. "Where's my mother?" Poor Thumbelina started to cry. Suddenly, the ugly toad popped her head out of the water. Her ugly toad son popped up nearby. "Stop your crying. You're with us now," croaked the ugly toad. "You'll marry my son later today as soon as we have everything prepared for the wedding." With a splash, the ugly toad and her ugly toad son swam away to prepare the wedding festivities. This made Thumbelina cry even harder. A large goldfish swam by and felt sorry for the sobbing Thumbelina. He swam under the lily pad and chewed through the stem so that Thumbelina could float away from the two ugly toads. Thumbelina waved goodbye to the goldfish. "Thank you, Mr. Goldfish," said Thumbelina. "Thank you for helping me." Thumbelina sailed down the river on her lily pad boat for hours. She would have sailed farther, but she spotted an injured bird on the shore. Thumbelina quickly paddled to the riverbank because it looked like the bird had a broken wing. "Oh, pretty bird, I'm so sorry you're hurt," said Thumbelina. "Can I help you fix your wing?" "Why would you want to help me?" twittered the bird. "What a silly question," said Thumbelina. "Birds give us beautiful music every day. Helping you is the right thing to do. Now lie still while I bandage your wing." Thumbelina used some flower petals and reeds to bandage the bird's wing. Afterwards, she brought the bird some nuts and berries to eat. Day after day, Thumbelina nursed the little bird back to health. Soon, he was good as new and ready to fly again. "Thank you, Thumbelina," peeped the bird. "Thank you for helping me." Now, Thumbelina didn't know that someone had been watching her care for the bird. The king of the flowers, who was the same size as Thumbelina, lived near the river inside of a flower. He had fallen in love with Thumbelina because not only was she beautiful, she was a sweet and caring person. One day, the king of the flowers declared his love for Thumbelina and asked her to marry him. The tiny Thumbelina agreed to marry the king of the flowers and be his queen, but first she had something she wanted to do. "I want to visit my mother and let her know I'm safe," said Thumbelina. "I know she must be worried sick about me." The bird that Thumbelina had nursed back to health heard her request. The bird flew down next to Thumbelina and the king. "Dear Thumbelina, you treated me with such kindness when I needed a friend," chirped the bird. "I would like to share the same kindness with you. I would love to fly you home to your mother." So Thumbelina and the king climbed on the back of the bird. They flew to the woman's home, and she and Thumbelina were overjoyed to see each other again. Thumbelina then married the king, and they all lived happily ever after.